everyone, welcome to Bickering Book Reviews. I'm Sarah.
And I'm Becky.
And today we're talking about You Have a Match by Emma Lord. I got this off NetGalley, did you?
I think I got it off of Edelweiss.
Really? Strange.
Yes.
It's usually the other way around for us.
I know, I'm trying to see who released it. I think it just popped up on Edelweiss.
Okay. Well, this book is about Abby, who is totally in love with one of her best friends. But they're in this like trio friend group, and she might love him. There was something that happened between the two of them romancy wise, made everything awkward for everyone. But what ends up happening is the guy that she has a crush on, Leo, he was adopted. And so he wants to take one of those DNA tests to see if he can potentially find out kind of some of his origins. And he convinces Abby, the main character, and Connie, their third best friend, to take the DNA test, genetics testing. And while Leo doesn't find any interesting information out from the test, Abby finds out that she's got a full-blooded sister who lives close by. And the sister, Savannah Savvy, wants to meet up. And Abby has, this kind of blows this family secret out of the water, because obviously her parents have been lying to her whole life, because she never knew about this full-blooded sister. She has younger brothers, but nobody older than her that she thought of. So what ends up happening is Savvy and Abby get together to figure out what happened between their parents and why they were lying the whole time. And it just so happens that Savvy is a camp counselor, and so the two girls go off to summer camp so that they can kind of work on figuring out what in the world's going on. And while they're there, they do start to kind of uncover more and more information, and there's a whole big old family secret going on that is going to change both of their families from here on out, because these two girls have found each other and they're not willing to go back to not knowing. So, and I think there's a love story involved with it, but I think that's essentially what you need to know basically about this book.
Yeah, it's a family drama with like a secondary story of romance. So I'm having I don't know how I feel about this book. So we were talking about this earlier. Emma Lord, this is her second book. She writes incredibly readable books.
Oh my gosh, yes. I blew through this book and I had fun with it. They're highly engaging. I love the wit that comes from the characters. They're so smart, but it's not that they're like these super smart characters. It's just the way that they talk and the way that they interact is intelligently done. It's designed well.
And halfway through the book, I was hooked to the point that I'm kind of if I read the last two chapters first, will I find out what happened and how did Savvy get adopted and all this stuff. So she did have me. I was hooked. And I liked Abby. I thought Abby was a well-rounded character. I liked Leo, the boy that she had a crush on. I liked all the friends at camp. I liked Finn, that you don't see.
Yeah, they were fun.
My issue with this, I had two little just little glitches with the book. First of all, Savvy's 18, and to me, she did not read like an 18-year-old. I felt like she read much younger. There were different times where they're telling her to do stuff, and I'm like,
I just think she's naive and. I just think she's naive. To me, that never crossed my mind.
And that threw me. And the other thing, and I realize it's not the point, and maybe it's because reading it as an adult, I feel like I didn't get a good enough answer as to what happened, as to why Savvy was adopted. You get an answer, but I feel like you only got half of the answer.
Yeah, I do feel like I wanted a little bit more. I wanted more threads to be, more ends to be tied up with that. But in real life, do you ever really get the full story? And would you have gotten the full story at this point in time in their lives?
I just had a hard time, since we didn't get that full story from the parents and the parent groups and what happened there. To me, that made the ending just a little fanciful.
See, and I think for me, the thing that kind of the niggling thing that I felt while reading this book is I wish that the characters had a greater age difference, and that Abby was younger. She would have done better as like a 12 or 13-year-old, I think, and Savvy as like a 16-year-old. Like I think if you had shifted it like that, I think this book could have been phenomenal, but then you're talking about a whole different set of readers and you're framing it in a completely different way. But I think that would have been an interesting story. And then you could have gotten away with not tying up all of the loose ends with the parents.
See, and I thought Abby read fun. Like, I thought she was a good narrator.
Yeah, I
And
liked
I
her a
liked
lot.
her as a 16-year-old. Like I said, and I wish I need to start writing stuff down, but there were like 2 or 3 times where I was like, this is an 18-year-old about Savvy. I feel like there was something else I was going to say. I like, if you pay attention, there's like a very brief reference to the first book, which Tweet
Yay.
Cute I loved. I thought Tweet Cute was one of the best books. Like, I remember reading that book last Christmas, I want to say. Like, I literally read it on Christmas. Um,
I loved that book.
I know.
But
I thought it
I
was great.
like this book. And I like this book. It wasn't what I was expecting. Like, it certainly didn't rely on any of the camp tropes. Like, I don't know. There's just like certain things that you expect from a camp book that this didn't have. Like, it didn't feel like a camp book.
And I don't know if like part of my problem is that that first book was so great that I expected more.
And maybe that could be it. I
Um,
think we should rate it.
that's what I was just gonna say.
I think we should rate it. So our rating scales goes from 5 unicorns down to 2 unicorns. If we don't like it, it doesn't get a horn, it's not magical, and it's therefore a horse. So where are you?
I'm confused. So like the writing and the majority of the characters are like a 4, but I had those like little issues that make me want to knock it down, but I just don't. I think it's too good to be a 3. So I think I'm gonna go with like a 3.5, bumping it up to a 4 because we don't do halves.
So I'm at a solid 3.5 because I really enjoyed it. I'm certainly going to recommend it. It read very quickly. I was all in with the characters. I wanted to know what was going to happen. I was into the drama. And I actually don't even think that I got bogged down with the fanciful parts of the drama. But we don't do halves. So even though I'm a solid 3.5, I'm going to bump it up to a 4 because I'm just feeling giving. So I'm feeling optimistic today, and therefore it gets a 4.
Well, I feel like it's better than the average. Like 3 to me is average, and to me it's better than average, but it's just
Oh,
not
definitely.
great.
No, that's a good point. It is definitely better than average. So,
So that is where we are on You've Got a Match, and we'll see you around.